Let's get started with opening statements in the randomly generated order in which you all are seated. Trinidad Rodriguez.
I'm Trinidad Rodriguez, and I was born and raised in West Denver by a hardworking single mom. We faced speed bumps along the way, things like housing insecurity, violence, addiction, and mental health struggles. And this city helped us through the tough times. So when I started my career 25 years ago, I paid it forward by serving and helping our most efficient civic and nonprofit organizations to build secure funding for schools, hospitals and clinics, and affordable housing communities that went on to serve tens of thousands of Denverites. It was an incredibly rewarding career, and Denver's in tough times right now. And I asked myself, what kind of city do I want to leave to my daughter? And that's why I'm fighting for Denver to be your mayor, to build the city where every Denverite, regardless of the neighborhood they're in, can achieve their version of success.
Thank you.
Lisa Calderon.
Hi, I'm Lisa Calderon, and I'm running to be your next Denver mayor. I'm a fourth-generation Denverite born to teenage parents. I also was unhoused as a teenager escaping domestic violence. But it was teachers who got me back into school and saw something special in me and encouraged me to continue. Even when I was a single parent, I could still afford a 2-bedroom apartment in Park Hill on public assistance. That isn't the reality for a lot of young people. I'm also a college professor, and I'm carrying their dreams forward. Last election, 2019, I came in third because I took on big corporations and our unaccountable city government. I'm proud to say that I am tied for first place because my 30 years as a community leader in Denver runs deep in our community. So please check out my campaign, lisafordenver.com. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thomas Wolf.
I have to shout out to my dad. It's his 91st birthday today. Great dad to 5 kids. Hey, I entered this race because I listened to Denver voters, and public service is doing what voters want done. Voters want encampments to end because they're inhumane, and what they don't necessarily know is that they're fiscal suicide for both DPS and our city budgets. It's one of those things where it's a second-order impact, and it needs to be confronted and controlled. If you don't share my empathy that we can solve encampments through shelter and city buildings, please have empathy for teachers and students. I come from an independent background that isn't political, and I've been successful in the financial world by under-promising and over-delivering. And I thought that would be a refreshing approach to have as a Denver mayor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Chris Hansen.
Hello, I'm State Senator Chris Hansen, and I'm running to be Denver's next mayor because I believe we need to build a city that works. And right now, I'm feeling frustrated that Denver is not working for everyone, frustrated we're not living up to our full potential. We need to build a safer, more affordable, and greener Denver. And as the only candidate on this stage who has been responsible and accountable to shareholders and to voters, I have the private and public sector leadership experience to take Denver into its future and write this next chapter together. We have to confront the homelessness crisis, we have to address public safety, and we have to make Denver more affordable as we build the greenest city in the entire country. You know, a couple months ago, I took my boys downtown. We jumped on the 15 bus, and I immediately started getting questions. Dad, was that a drug deal I just saw? Dad, why are we feeling so unsafe downtown? As a father, that's a heartbreaking conversation to have. Denver, I know we can do better. I'm ready to write this next chapter with you. I ask for your support in this important race.
Thank you.
Terrence Roberts.
Good evening. My name is Terrence Roberts. I'm running for Denver mayor because of all of the issues that we just heard. We need to do something about our homelessness crisis. It is becoming a crisis in Denver, and our violence. Most of that is youth violence. I grew up right here in Park Hill. My grandmother, Miss Ernestine Boyd, owned a small business, A&A Fish Market, 2896 Fairfax. We can do better for our small businesses. We need more public housing. We need a public banking system to pay for it in Denver. Everyone's talking about affordable housing. I support projects like the Fresh Low project in Montbello. We have residents in Montbello who are coming up with their own ways to come up with affordable housing. However, besides affordable housing, in order for someone to get to affordable housing, they need counseling services, they need abuse services, and they need public housing, and then they can afford affordable housing. And then we can also make small business loans to our small businesses. Vote for Terrence Roberts today with your mail-in ballot, because I have the clearest plan to move our city forward properly into the future.
Thank you.
Mike Johnston.
Thank you. Well, it's great to be back in school. I started my career as a teacher and a school principal, so spent a lot of time managing auditoriums like this. You all are much easier so far. I had a mentor when I first started as a school principal who used to say there are only two things you can offer to children: truth and hope. And I think in some ways the city faces this same challenge, which is there are some hard truths we have to face. Those hard truths include, tonight we know that 80% of the teachers that serve schools like this one, and nurses and firefighters that serve this city, can't afford to live in this city tonight. That's the truth. We know that right now, if you're a young person going to bed, you got to look out your window and check to make sure your car is still there, because you live in the city that has the most significant auto theft risks of cities in the country. And we know that we go home tonight, there will be 1,400 people somewhere walking around Denver trying to find a place to sleep who don't have a home. The hope is we know these problems are actually solvable. And I have a vision to make sure that we can get back a Denver that we are proud of, that is vibrant, that is affordable, and that is safe. And excited to talk to you about that tonight. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Al Gardner.
Good evening. My name is Al Gardner, and I'm here tonight because I want to be Denver's next mayor. I've been asked many times, why now? Because I believe that everything in my life has led me to this point. I was raised to believe that the most noble thing that you can do in this life is to serve others. I've done that. I've done that by building an IT career that started at the bottom level and worked my way up through executive ranks. I didn't wait till I retired to get busy with working with public works. I did it simultaneously. I've worked for multiple boards and commissions in this city. I currently serve on the Civil Service Commission. I'm not going to frighten you into voting for me tonight. There is a lot wrong, but we have done a lot right. And I believe that there are opportunities for us to do better. And that's why I'm running for mayor, to work with you, along with the Denver voters, to make Denver better and to move Denver forward.
Thank you.
Kelly Brough.
Hi, I'm Kelly Brough. To solve problems, you first have to understand them. And I understand so many of the challenges people in Denver are struggling with today. I lost my father to violent crime. My family received government assistance when I was a kid to put food on our table and keep a roof over our heads. And my husband struggled with addiction our entire life together, and my girls and I lost him to suicide. But I also know the next mayor needs executive experience to be able to implement solutions to address those challenges. And I have that experience too. I was the first woman to be president and CEO of the Denver Metro Chamber of Commerce. I was John Hickenlooper's chief of staff when he was mayor of Denver. I was the first woman to head the HR department for the city of Denver. And if you saw my ad, I was the first woman to plow snow on call at our airport. I know this. I know the city inside and out. I'm running because I'm ready, and I'd love to have your support.
Thank you.
Andy Rougeau.
My name is Andy Rougeau, and I'm running for mayor to fight for Denver's future, because the people on this stage have failed our city. And look, it's a city I love. It's a city where I settled down after I got out of the Army. It's a city where I built a business. A city where I'm raising a family. I've got 2 little girls, a 3-year-old and a 7-month-old. But the people on this stage have failed our city. Our mayor and our city council have failed our city. Crime is out of control. Homelessness is rising. Housing is unaffordable. We can talk about some of the horrible statistics on crime, like a tripling of murders in the past 10 years. The fact that we're one of the car theft capitals of the country. But me as mayor, I will make sure that we're adding 400 police officers. We're ensuring there's sufficient funding for police training. Our 911 system works. For homelessness, we've seen almost a doubling of unsheltered homeless in the past 4 years. I will enforce the camping ban to get the homeless into the mental health and drug addiction services they need. Housing is unaffordable for blue-collar workers, young families, and first-time home buyers. I'll change that. My name is Andy Rougeau. I'm a veteran, a father, a small business owner, and I want your vote to fight for Denver's future.
Thank you.
Leslie Herod.
Everyone deserves to be treated with dignity and respect. Doesn't matter who you are, who you love, your income, or your national origin. We all belong in this city. Denver is stronger because of us. Denver deserves a mayor who will put pragmatic, progressive solutions to create real results for this city, to ensure everyone here is housed, safe, and secure. This is who I am. This is what I've fought for. I was raised by a single mom in the armed forces who taught me firsthand what dedication and service looks like. And when she struggled to take care of me alone, 2 people stepped in, a law enforcement officer and a woman who was a leader in her own right. This is my family. This is how I grew up. It may sound complicated, but it's not. Just like many of the issues facing Denver today. We can tackle our toughest issues, and we can do it together, because that's what families do. But for too long, special interests have really taken a hold of this city and run for their own interests, not the people's. When elected, if elected, as your next mayor, I promise to put people first and deliver real results for this city. I'm Leslie Herod. I hope to have your vote.
Thank you.
Debbie Ortega.
Hi, I'm Councilwoman Debbie Ortega, and I first want to take a moment to acknowledge the loss of a great political leader, Pat Schroeder, who was a congresswoman that served this state for many, many years. I ended up in Colorado at the age of 13 after my dad passed away. He was a coal miner that was killed in a mine cave-in. And I've been here serving this city for the last 4 decades. And I've worked on many of these issues, from how we have solved air quality issues like the Osarco problem, cleaning up the soils of that community, to addressing housing affordability as the director of Del Norte Neighborhood Development Corporation, to serving our homeless population as the first director for the Homeless Commission. And I know what these issues are and the problems that we have with solvable solutions. I've worked on these issues. I believe I can make a difference, and I'm here to ask for your support. The experience that I've had really makes a difference in this race. Thank you.